Cooling gel detected. Theoretically, the cooling gel can be used to reduce the temperature and activity of the core. That is, if you find a blob large enough that doesn't evaporate before we get to the liner. Now we can see why there's so much cooling gel near the shuttle. This is a tank with cooling gel from the outdated nuclear reactor cooling system. There's no data about such systems being on the liner unnamed. Something is stuck in the cooling gel, or someone. In any case, it's impossible to break it. I wouldn't touch it without having a degree in engineering. If I were you, I wouldn't touch anything, even myself. These engines are obsolete. I don't know where they're from, but their combustion system would be perfect for a miniature accelerator. A space shuttle got stuck in this blob of cooling gel. I think we found the perfect specimen to launch into the core. I will mark it. Looks like some storage for beef fuel pellets. They don't make these nowadays. A container for transporting beef. Its casing is bloated, which indicates possible damage to its contents due to bad transport conditions. I don't recommend approaching such containers because of their possible explosion. This type of why do you need a new spacesuit? I'm better than any new spacesuit. I recommend just upgrading the current equipment. For example, paint the helmet. I'm sure it will help. Please be careful with artificial beef. This product explodes more often than it's eaten by normal people. Find many ways to suffocate in space aside from chewing gum. These engines are obsolete. I don't know where they're from, but their combustion system would be perfect for a miniature accelerator. There's an engineering shuttle ahead. I wonder how you find everything so quickly. Is it because of my hints? Apparently, he died in comfort and without fear. Maybe you can assemble such a bench as well. I will mark it. Something exploded here, probably. Such large windows could only be in the 5-star modules of the liner. It seems that rich passengers consider a great view to be more important than safety. These look like tail sections. There are declared cargo holds inside for transporting synthetic beef, milk, and plant food. There might be something useful here. Looks like an undamaged cargo section with dairy products. Special containers with cooling gel are used for transporting milk. The gel is ideal for reducing the core's activity. What's left to do is to find the emergency unloading lever, get inside the section, pump out the cooling gel, and launch it into the liner. Piece of cake! A fully functional farm for synthesizing beef. However, the declaration mentions only the transportation of goods. There is no data about any research conducted on the liner unnamed, but it seems that apart from transporting food, they also did some biological experiments in the Stop! Judging by the signal, there's an anti-asteroid turret nearby. I hope you don't look much like an asteroid, but it's recommended that you stay away from the guns. These turrets can attack a large moving object without even knowing how valuable the spacesuit on this object is. A modern space greenhouse. It's used on planets unsuitable for agriculture. It's useless for the liner and takes up a lot of space unless it's used for scientific purposes. The plants are dead. Probably they fed synthetic cows with it. Someone has done a tremendous job on comparing two identical objects. Was the flight of the world's largest liner that boring? I was hoping to see a standard pleasure shuttle, but this is an old design cargo ship. You can still occasionally find such ships on distant planets. They work on biofuel, and there's no way they were on the liner. Robotics wasn't so popular at the time when such ships were produced. The engines look intact. A fuel tank, with no fuel inside. To start the engines, you have to find some fuel, fill the tank, and hack the control system of the ship. External control system. Only old ships have these. I can hack it in a split second. I think you're almost there. You can probably ignore the cooling gel's slight course deviation and assume that the core's activity is partially reduced. This technology is outdated, so it's highly improbable that this debris belongs to the liner. Winter is coming. The digestive tract, which processes almost any organic matter into energy, muscle mass, and milk. The cost of developing such a complex synthetic system has always caused heated debate in society due to a bunch of radicals being displeased with it. This device synthesizes bioglue from the tanks which remained intact. You won't be able to eat this until you remove the bioglue. Synthetic cows don't quite need any eyes. Well, they themselves aren't needed much. However, their creation led to a breakthrough in the field of prosthetics, which recouped the expenses for this stupid idea. Turret detected. Bioglue is the basis of a synthetic organism. The composition is too complex for homebrew reproduction. Biologists tried to make synthetic cows adaptable to independent growth and grazing, and therefore jelly-like specimens without any bone structure did not do well. It's strange that this section is protected with weapons, seeing that the dairy products don't cost much. The doors are locked. These locks can only be opened with a special tool from outside, or alternatively, they can be broken. You are good at doing that. Attention smuggler. Despite the FDA's requirements of using only synthetic meat products, its composition says natural meat, but doesn't state what kind of meat exactly. It's better not to analyze it. You can relax. Despite what the package says, natural meat is not found in its composition. Someone was simply deceived. It worked. Now you have to find the airlock. It doesn't look like milk, even the sour kind, though. This is definitely not a cargo section, despite it looking like one and the mark in the liner's declaration. Somebody wanted to keep these rooms secret. A laboratory with the most advanced equipment. Individuals don't have access to such technologies. Looks like some data blocks. Connect me to one of them and I'll try to find out if there's any cooling gel in the capsules. Some mutated chicken DNA is being examined here. Class A biological experiments are prohibited on the surface of inhabited planets, on their satellites, as well as within a radius of 500,000 kilometers from any inhabited objects. The liner does not fall under this prohibition while it's in outer space. According to these documents, the laboratory must be sponsored somehow, and that probably also involves the revenue from the liner unnamed. Something tore him apart from the inside. Even trash cans can be luxury ones, but this is not one of them. According to the plan, this is not only the main control post, but also the steering wheel. This section is a space shuttle, but with such damage, it's unlikely to be able to fly. The most common way to use a desktop aquarium in space. According to statistics, every second surveyed man longs to go in a normal toilet for the opportunity of seeing the size of his organic product. I wouldn't touch anything in here without a manual. I wouldn't touch anything in here without a manual. I wouldn't touch anything in here without a manual. Interesting. There's no cooling circuit here, which means the gel can only be present in the solution itself that is poured into the capsules. The full composition of the solution is encrypted, but we can pump it out using the control post and analyze it manually. I've downloaded the manual. To clean the specimen capsules, press the blue button. Or the green one. Unfortunately, the manual is black and white. Something's wrong. I would suggest ignoring what happened. If these specimens end up on some planet and remain intact, then politicians will come up with some story about a super intelligent race that created these creatures to destroy mankind. Press the green button. As I thought, the capsules didn't contain all of the solution. Pumping out from the reserve tanks initiated. There's no cooling gel here, but the solution contains potassium iodide, cysteamine, ondansetron, and some non-standard impurities. Theoretically, it can serve as excellent anti-radiation protection. Just put the solution into the insulin cell of the suit, and I'll calculate the dosage so you don't turn into a vegetable or a mutant cow. Your protection against radiation has increased. You didn't even have to launch anything into the core, risking the start of an uncontrolled reaction of matter explosion. Although it would have been right to launch this laboratory together with all of its dangerous research. I wonder, am I the only one who is confused about the fact that these specimens have chicken genes? Many blueprints specify chickens to be the main catalyst for mutations. You even have an immortal chicken in your backpack, don't you? a strange place, but maybe we can find something useful here. This is the first time I've seen a spacesuit designed for a cow. Usually they don't keep animals in open space, even synthetic ones, although your chicken triggers some questions. This may come in handy if you calibrate it correctly.
This is working autonomous oxygen station.
Apparently, someone tried to make a cryo chamber out of it to wait for the rescuers. Someone has clearly read a lot of science fiction books.
Bye-bye.